I'm an eternal dancer, and as a lifelong dancer, movement is my lifeline, my passion, my expression, and my release. In 2020, I embraced a dream of moving into a traveling wooden tiny house on wheels to explore North America. But with this newfound freedom came an unexpected challenge. I thought I had lost the space to dance, and with it, my joy. Have you ever felt like your passion was slipping through your fingers? In this episode, I'm taking you behind the scenes to share an intimate look at my life in a traveling tiny house on wheels and how it intertwined with my ability to dance and move creatively. It's a journey from limitation to freedom, a personal story of my dance journey within the greater journey of life. How do we navigate these intertwined paths to find our true selves? Not everything is as it seems. Wheels don't always guarantee freedom, and likewise, a lack of space doesn't take away the ability to dance within it. Life is in motion, and dreams and challenges have a way of getting all tangled up sometimes. What may seem really good may also come with something really, really tough. What if the very thing you thought was holding you back was actually the key to unlocking your true potential? Join me in this episode as I reveal my journey from feeling confined to discovering boundless freedom within my tiny home. It's a story of transformation where limitations became opportunities and despair turned into inspiration. How often do we let preconceived limitations dictate our reality? I am opening up and being very vulnerable with you about a time not really that long ago when I could barely even say the word dance without breaking down into extreme sadness and feeling super, super depressed. For someone who has always thrived on creative dance and motion, it was a really challenging place to be. But what turned out to be an extreme low ultimately became one of the best things that has ever happened to me. Could the darkest moments of our lives be the catalysts for our greatest transformations? The squeeze opened me up to a whole new mindset and way of creating life in an unlimited, creative, somatic, expressive motion. The darkest moments can turn into the brightest ones. This pivotal moment birthed Eternal Dancers, and now I'm here to help you unleash your inner Eternal Dancer to move, express, and breathe life into every moment. Are you ready to break free and embrace the dance of life, no matter your space or circumstances? Stay with me as I share my personal story, hoping to inspire your own journey of creative movement. Long before my tiny house adventures began, there has been a lifelong love, my eternal passion for dance and endless creative movement. My family always said I was dancing before I could even walk. Rhythm and movement have always been a part of my essence, guiding how I move through life. In my early days, I wasn't much of a talker. Can you believe me? I wasn't. But I always felt safe and inspired to move and dance. Growing up, I immersed myself in dance training and education and ballet, modern and contemporary, tap, Irish step dancing, and ballroom, Latin, and swing dances. Even though I took my dance training really serious, dance has always been my meaningful way to release, express, and find my personal happy space. For me, Dance represents freedom, creativity, empowerment, and passion. Dance and creative movement are my self-love, my self-care, and the love language I give to my whole being. Dance is an essential element of who I am, something innate and eternal to who I am. Throughout my life, I've both been a learner and a teacher of dance, constantly moving and expressing, whether at home or wherever life takes me. I dance while cooking dinner, while brushing my teeth. I find myself in creative motion pretty much like whenever there's music playing. My imagination is always active, visualizing stories and adventures set to music, with dance as the mode of movement through these imagined stories. As you can see, dance and creative movement run deep in my eternal being, playing a vital role in my life. Moving forward in time, my best friend, who just so happens to be my mom, and I decided to embark on a new adventure together, living in a traveling wooden tiny house on wheels. Our plan? Slow travel across North America, exploring and visiting new places. For years, we had been fascinated by tiny house shows and loved the idea of living in a tiny house on wheels. However, as professional artists, dancers, and teachers who do enjoy clothing and the comforts of life, we initially doubted whether we could embrace minimalism enough to make it work for us personally. But as various factors and ideas aligned, the decision to go tiny and live on wheels began to take shape. Talk about an exciting decision, exciting time. The prospect of having a home on wheels, slow traveling and experiencing new places until they felt like home was incredibly thrilling. A lot of planning, intention, and time went into this whole concept. We enlisted an RVI certified builder to construct the main part of our custom-built fifth-wheel RV-like tiny house. Then we took on the task of customizing and finishing the woodwork ourselves, all while fueled by the anticipation and excitement of the journey. Finally, we moved in, began our travels, and the early days were filled with challenges and lots of things to figure out. There was a lot to learn as we adapted to our new lifestyle. Embracing the 3 ABCs, being adventurous, brave, and creative, was essential. Every day brought new lessons and required us to think outside the box. From navigating the logistics of tiny living to finding creative solutions for storage and comfort, we were constantly pushed to innovate. This experience taught us resilience, adaptability, reinforcing the idea that with the healthy mindset, we could overcome any hurdle. Our journey in the tiny house wasn't just about physical travel. It was about personal growth and embracing a new way of life. Each challenge we took on as an opportunity to learn and grow, which has made the whole adventure so much more meaningful and rewarding. If you are interested in seeing more of these tiny house inspired adventures that we've had, we started documenting our tiny house and finding wonder journey over on our Sea Tree Wonder channel, which I will link up here and down in the description. We have lots of great video episodes over on that channel, and there are so many more coming soon. We had to take a brief pause on creating and editing those episodes, but we've got so much incredible footage from all of our adventures throughout the American West that we are beginning to edit and will be being shared to Sea Tree Wonder very soon. So check it out. As we settled into our tiny house on wheels, I encountered a significant challenge that threatened my daily dance and movement ritual. The dream of slow traveling around the western states was exhilarating, but the reality of my 5-foot by 5-foot amount of open floor space plus a small galley kitchen initially felt incredibly limiting. In the beginning, I hesitated to dance, waiting for opportunities to visit larger spaces. However, my busy schedule and the whole excitement and dynamic of being nomadic meant those opportunities rarely materialized. As the days turned into weeks, which then turned into months without dance, I felt a profound sense of loss. Dance, my lifelong joy and source of expression, seemed out of reach, and I found myself slipping into a state of despair. The absence of dance was palpable. I felt disconnected from a part of myself that had always been my refuge and source of happiness. Oh my gosh. I mean, even talking about dance brought me to tears. A stark reminder of like what I was missing. It was as if a vital piece of my identity was fading away, leaving me feeling completely like adrift. I felt incomplete. I felt sad and separate from movement, and a feeling that like I didn't know when I was gonna get to do it again. And that weighed like really heavy on my heart. Wow, I feel just like so emotional just even talking about this. Thankfully, my best friend, my mom, my roommate, and travel buddy was there to support and encourage me to find my movement practice again, even in a tiny space. Her belief in me was the push I needed to face the challenge head on. I became determined to reclaim my passion. I committed to dancing every day, understanding that waiting for a larger space was only holding me back from the joy the dance had always brought me. I began to see my tiny space not as limitation, but as a partner. Like a partner in this creative journey of learning. I adapted my dance practice to fit within the confines of my 5-foot by 5-foot area, discovering the beauty of being very intentional with my movement. I discovered the power of somatic awareness and experiencing. And in this small, intimate space, every gesture became an opportunity for creative release and self-discovery. It wasn't about dancing small, but about embracing the space as a collaborator in my expression. I learned to move with a new kind of freedom, where the focus was on the healing, the empowering and rejuvenating aspects of movement, rather than on the technique of how to do it in a big space. I found that this newfound connection brought a depth to my movement that nurtured my being, my spirit. And as I embraced this approach, my tiny dance space became a dynamic partner, transforming into a sanctuary, a safe space for me to self-express and move. I poured like all of myself, my heart and my soul into the movement, and that sadness, that despair, it began to lift. I felt renewed by joy. Dance once again became a source of vitality, of inspiration in my life. This journey taught me that dance knows no boundaries. It reaffirmed that even in the smallest spaces, we can find immense value in transformation. My daily dance movement practice became non-negotiable, a sacred ritual that connected me to my essence and reminded me of the freedom that an expression that dance gives me. I realized that true liberation comes from within, and that the spirit of dance can flourish no matter the size of the movement space. I realized that I could still have big expression, big movement, big heart flowing energy even in a tiny space. Let me show you my space. This is the largest open area in my tiny house. When I move these steps, which I will show you here, these are the steps and the shoe bench and the water bowl for the puppies out of the way, I actually have a 5-foot by 5-foot movement space. My arms have a bit more room thanks to these stairs. And then this is, of course, the vaulted spot in my house. So I'm pretty much unlimited on the vertical space. Just for scale and understanding, I am about 5 feet 7 inches tall. So yeah, this is a pretty small space. In the guided movement journeys that you can find here on the Eternal Dancers channel, I'm usually dancing right here in this small space. Unless I'm outside in nature, which I, of course, absolutely love dancing outside. If you've watched any of my videos, or after you subscribe to the channel and ring the notification bell so you can see my past and future videos where I guide you on creative follow-along dance journeys from this very space, I'm sure you will agree that while this is indeed a small space, the opportunity for big expression is pretty incredible. I still surprise myself all the time with the type of movement I could actually do in this space. Back when I was feeling down and thought this space was too small for dancing, I never could have imagined the diverse movements and the extent of dancing I would end up doing in this very specific space. I also have this galley kitchen, which honestly, when I'm not on camera, it's probably my most used movement space. This is mainly because the stairs usually need to be in place, of course, to be able to go up and down and access the rest of the house. And moving something from one spot means putting it in the way of something else, which might be in the way. Of course, there's also this area down here is for the dogs. They need to have their place to be, which limits the area for just quick, turn some music on and move. So I end up moving all the time in this galley kitchen. So you see, that 5 by 5 foot space is busy. This space is always open because it's the only way to use it. And I'm not gonna lie, dancing freely and with quite a bit of improvisational abandon in a space like this comes with serious dangers and hazards. There's always something to hit, to whack, or possibly knock over, and the risk of something physically bad happening is very real. That being said, in an almost magical way, this narrow galley kitchen has become my dance partner. Instead of it being a movement space that limits me, I consider it to be a supportive partner in my movement. I've made peace with the counters. They're my partner. I can use them. I've made peace with this porcelain sink. This is a fridge. And somehow even this low ceiling and the narrow doorway that's right behind the camera, it's now my always there partner. My movement shapes around it and with it. It's a pretty spectacular relationship. I'm not saying this way of having to be careful and aware while experiencing the profound freedom of movement is for everyone, but it's what I had to create for myself to live in harmony with my tiny house and with my passion for dance. You work with what you got and you have to make it work. So this is my kitchen. This is it. This is a tiny little doorway which I can kind of show you here. But I use this doorway. It's like 23 inches wide, and I use it like all the time as I'm going through it, and I even like move in and out of the bathroom through this doorway. Of course, this is a big fridge. We did not compromise on having a big fridge in our house. And this is this space between like sink and countertop. It's only about 2 feet. So I have a 2-foot space for movement as you go down the kitchen. And then of course I have my the bigger open space. But I use these beams here. I can like grab the beams and kind of enjoy almost not swinging from the rafters, but you know what I mean, using them as a partner too. So I feel like the sink becomes my partner, the counter becomes my partner, the ceiling becomes my partner, and no matter what, I have to be super and ultra aware of the actual obstacles to make sure I don't hurt myself. Have I ever bumped into them? Yes, but rarely. I would say, become so kind of in tune and aware of this space that it's my friend. It honestly has become a dance partner in a kind of unique and creative way. So I have my Galley kitchen, and I have a 5-foot by 5-foot movement space. So somehow I figured out how to make a tiny space be quite big for movement. This is my movement space. I have a measuring tape here set at 5 feet, and literally that's all I have. Yeah, 5 feet and a couple inches if you go into Uluru's space, and then from here to the kitchen I have like about 5 feet 2 inches, which because I'm like 5'7" tall, like if I wanted to like lay down this direction, I can't even do that because I'm taller than 5 feet, obviously. So I have to be pretty careful. And then when my arms are out, like if I were to move around down here, I mean, I would hit things. Of course, there is my vertical space, and I have the space like over the stairs, which really extends my space. And yet, you can do a lot with 5 feet if you're a little bit aware and you're a little bit careful. So this is it. This is my biggest movement space in my house. Real quick, I just want to take a moment to introduce you to my 2 awesome fur babies. Come on out here, Uluru, come on. They're both rescues who in many ways rescued me with their unwavering and infinite love, playful spirit, and curious selves. They are always with me here in my space when I record my videos or guide you on your movement journeys. Me, Konane, are a little one who goes everywhere in our house. He's particularly good at helping with film editing and of course providing endless puppy snuggles. And then there's Uluru. Come back out, come on, come on. She's my red girl who stays down here on the main floor. Whenever I'm filming a dance journey to share with you, she's right here beside me in her den crate that's fit into the stairs. She's always with me right here as one of my dearest companions. Both my fur babies love it when I dance, and often they end up running around with their toys when the cameras are off and we're all doing our happy dance, right? Their presence brings so much joy and energy to my space, making every moment even more special. It's fun because she is always here with me. Obviously, she's usually loose, but just for different options, we do have her crate, and she actually loves her den. It's her, she loves going in there. We always have an open door so she can go in and out. But when I'm actually recording or something, we shut the door, but there is her little den. If my house were a stage, then she's in my wings. She's my stage manager. Now that you've met my incredible companions who make every day an adventure, I invite you to enjoy this brief montage of some of our traveling tiny house adventures where dance becomes a part of the journey both inside inside and outside our cozy home, right guys? Let's take a look at how movement and creativity bring joy and inspiration to my life with a traveling tiny house on wheels. We are traveling with our house. Like, it's just so amazing. I mean, I'm like, we're driving and I'm videoing and photographing, and sometimes I'm like, am I photographing or videoing too much? Because everything is so beautiful and it's such a wonderment. And I think I'm just in like such a wow state that we can be on the road with our house. It's amazing how whenever you stop after you've been driving for a long time, you get out and you like jump around and do a lot of movement, how much more like energized you are and like invigorated to get back on the road again. So we always like make a big deal to like make sure that whenever we stop, we actually move around. It's amazing how much it helps. I like to move it. We're headed up and over the pass. If you happen to have a small movement space of your own, I encourage you not to look at it as a limitation, but as a cocoon from which you can emerge with enormous creative freedom. Like a butterfly, your movements can be both delicate and powerful, transforming the ordinary into the extraordinary. As I embraced my creative movement freedom in my small space, I realized that this fascination and passion for letting movement, dance, breath, and visualization be catalysts for whole life well-being is my gift. This is what I love to give myself, and this is what I want to help others experience as well. That's how Eternal Dancers was born, out of my desire to transform limitations into opportunities for boundless creativity and well-being. As we remember our innate capacity and need for creative and sacred expression through movement and breath, we honor the call of our bodies, of our minds, our spirits to move, create, release, unwind, and regulate ourselves. We are beings in need of eternal motion, eternal breath, eternal growth, and therefore eternal dance. As we wrap up this journey, I want to invite you to join me in the next episode, where we will dive into specific strategies that will free your creative movement and dance, even in the smallest of spaces. I have a treasure trove of ideas and techniques to help you transform your environment into a sacred space for creativity and expression. So be sure to subscribe and ring that notification bell so you will be the first to know when that video is released. Join me and let's dance through life with passion and purpose. I can't wait to continue exploring with you in the next video episode. Here on the Eternal Dancers channel, you will find a variety of guided movement journeys and adventures designed to inspire and elevate your movement practice. These sessions offer a range of experiences from brief explorations to more immersive, like virtual adventures, allowing you to engage with dance in a way that suits your needs. If you are looking for personalized support, I do offer online one-on-one coaching to help you refine and expand your holistic well-being movement practice. You can visit www.eternaldancers.com to learn more about these opportunities. I am also so excited about the upcoming launch of the Eternal Dancers Circle, a membership space where our community can gather, support each other, and access a growing library of guided movement sessions that aren't available anywhere else. These sessions will vary in length from the shorter, like 15-minute amount, to 45 to 60 minutes, and even 90-minute sessions offering really immersive, transformational experiences that integrate movement, breath work, visualization for holistic well-being. Through somatic movement and breath combined with creative adventures and imaginative visualizations, we aim to create life-enhancing improvements that resonate throughout your whole life. Everything we do in our movement journeys translates to the rest of your life, fostering growth and transformation. If you are interested in these longer sessions and the additional support of myself and our community, sign up to be notified of this exciting new space coming soon. The link is in the description below. Don't forget to subscribe, comment, and share, and connect with me. Say hello, become part of our growing community. Dance for me is way more than movement. It's a journey of self-discovery and empowerment. Through the stories and experiences that I've shared today, I hope you see how embracing your space and nurturing your creativity can lead to profound personal transformation. While this episode focused on my story, remember that each of us has the power to inspire others through our unique journeys. By dancing with passion, creativity, and an open heart, we not only enrich our own lives, but also encourage others to explore their own paths. So thank you for joining me in this exploration of movement and meaning. I look forward to continuing this incredible journey with you as we all strive to free our inner eternal dancer and empower our infinite creativity. Enjoy dancing with me right now, whether you want to go on a virtual trip via a dance adventure, or whether you wish to become more centered as you connect with the natural elements. Enjoy these free guided movement sessions right here on the Eternal Dancers YouTube channel.